Welcome back to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank y'all so much for stopping by again today. On my way to the gym, man, something crossed my mind. It's like, the only thing women want me for is money. I feel like an ATM. Now, before you jump to any conclusions, let me finish. It's not just over here in the Philippines, because if you over here and you're in a relationship and you don't know that by now, the only thing expected of you is to pay the bills. They don't want your input. They don't want your opinion, any knowledge. Matter of fact, they don't think you know anything. Then shame on you. But I'm not even talking about the Philippines. That's a foregone conclusion. If you don't know that you're the ATM over here, man, you shouldn't even come over here. You're in for a big shock. But I'm talking about every woman that I've ever dealt with in my life, including my mother. When I go all the way back to the conversations with my mother, it was always about money. That was all that was expected of me. Not what I thought about something. She didn't consult with me on anything. All the way up to now. Every woman I've ever had a romantic relationship with, my 4 grown daughters in America, my sisters. And you say, Cal, well, that's your role in society. Well, I think I've got 62 years of life experience. I think my value is more than just $1. It's like, shut up and pay the bills. I pay the bills and shut up. You know, like they told LeBron James, just dribble and shut up. That's how I feel. My military experience, it doesn't matter. Even my time in the streets, it doesn't matter, man. All the success I had as a businessman. They don't want any of that. All they want is my money. It's tiring, man, at 62 years old. Yeah, you're the provider, the maintainer, the protector, but I think it's more to life than that. I mean, that's a no-brainer there, but it doesn't go any further than that. You know, recently, my granddaughter was rushed to the hospital in America, and they never talked to me about it. They just expected money. Anytime any of my grown daughters in America message me, it's always money. They always say, hey, Daddy, how you doing? You know, I'm getting ready to go for this job interview. What should I do? You know, my advice, none of that. It means nothing. If it were not for the men that I've met through my channel, calling and texting and asking me for advice, all my conversations would be about money. So shout out to all those guys, Jay in Cebu, Sean in Angeles City, Jim in Bacolod, Confident Voice Speaks in Alabama. You know, all of y'all who hit my WhatsApp up, cars up in Manila. This channel gives me some kind of purpose, man. Otherwise, I'd just be a walking ATM machine. It gets frustrating, man. You know, because I've got a lot to offer besides that. Now, this is my story. It might be something different for y'all. I'm just talking about my life. 99% of my videos are about me. So take this any way you want to. You know, even over here especially, I mean, no Filipino that I ever dealt with, they thought that I knew anything. I was telling Marilyn the other day, I was like, well, hell, you realize I was in the military before you even born? I do know something. I mean, they don't confer with you about anything. All you expected to do is pay for shit. But yeah, I'm going to the gym. You know, a lot of times, man, when something is bothering me, I just go to the gym. It really helps. I'll go walking. It really helps. But this is a subject I wanted to talk about because I know a lot of men can probably relate to it. The only thing women want from me is money. Where do they get that from? I'm pretty sure Booby, once she gets to the age that, hey, I'm not filming y'all. Hey, you see that, right? Crazy. Everybody thinks they're important. 100% of my viewers don't know who they are. I didn't even see them until they got right up on me. But that's why I don't really walk around with my camera and stuff. You know, that's, I'm not really trying to do that on purpose to people. But anyway, a lot of guys can relate to this. It's not even something that if you plan on coming to the Philippines, or you living in the Philippines, or you have a relationship with a Filipino, that we even have to talk about anymore. I mean, it's just that's just part of the game. But at some point, they become smarter than you. At some point, your input doesn't matter, man. You know, your advice doesn't matter, your knowledge, your wisdom. It's just shut up and pay the bills. I'm gonna go this other way. I did want to say that that earthquake was a whole lot worse than I thought, man. I just thought that it was, you know, here in Cebu and, you know, a few places, Bohol, but come to find out, man, that thing hit northern Cebu around Bogo City, or Bogo City, however you want to pronounce it. And the last I heard, 69 people had died. I was shocked. I was like, what? Yeah, 69 people had died. Now imagine, hey, man, Buntag, you had, hey, man, Buntag, 2 typhoons last week and an earthquake. Okay, this is what you need to be worried about. Hey, man, Buntag, when you come into the Philippines. Not this other stuff that's going to be there. And then for some of you guys that have the nerve to talk about the infrastructure over here, you should be ashamed of yourself, man. Do you know anything about the Philippines? Do you even know anything about your retirement destination or where you plan on going on vacation? Evidently you don't, because of some of the comments y'all make, man. They're so ignorant, they're so stupid, you know. But this is all the time. This is a, you know, a recurring theme if you live in the Philippines. These natural disasters. Hell, I was just talking about it. But I was shocked, man. There's so many people that died, you know, and he was asking me, you gonna do anything, man? The need is too great. I'm just gonna leave that to the Red Cross, man. It's different, like when something happens around here in San Carlos City, you know, maybe the squatters area burns down or something. Somebody's father dies or something like that. Yeah, maybe I'll reach out and try to do something, but not on that scale. Because the guy asked me, I was like, nah, thanks for your offer, but the only thing I would probably do is volunteer were I there, but I'm not there, you know, and I don't live hypothetically. But man, my heart sunk, man. I did not realize so many people had died. They said a lot of people were asleep in their beds when it happened. And it has a lot to do with, you know, the construction, you know, of their houses and everything. So if you decide to build a house over here, man, don't go the cheap route, man. You know, people think just because I only spent $1 million pesos on my house, it was cheap. No, I've got an experienced engineer, hey, man, Bunsan, who knew what he was doing. Even though my house was the first house he ever built, he had been an engineer for help over 2 decades. So he knew what he was doing. And I got to shout him out like I did the other day, man. My structure's been through a typhoon, category 5 typhoon, and a they said 6.9. I believe it, man. Shook us so bad, man. I mean, I thought it was the end for me, but, you know, back to what we were talking about. I try to talk about real life stuff, man. I know there's somebody watching this who can relate to what I'm saying, man. You know, I'm more than an ATM. I got a whole lot of knowledge, man. I got a lot of wisdom after 62 years of what I've been through. And we all have a unique life experience. But for them to say that's non-void and to just throw that to the side and say, you know, all we want is your paycheck, man, it does something to me deep down inside, man. You know. So thank y'all so much for stopping by. I hope everybody's doing okay. You know, I want to talk about stuff like this. I want you to start thinking, you know. Certainly if you want to come over here and get involved, you know, these so-called alpha males over here, man. If you call yourself an alpha male, you're not an alpha. Okay, alphas don't call themselves alpha. It's apparent, okay? There's nothing you have to do. But if you call yourself an alpha, more than likely you're not. Okay, we all know what an alpha looks like, even though I don't believe in any of that stuff. According to the psychologists, there's no such thing as an alpha, a beta, or a sigma. It says that we all have characteristics of all three at any given time. But they'll have you thinking that, yeah, they're more than an ATM over here. They'll have you thinking, yeah, I run the show over here. And she doesn't disrespect me over here. That's bullshit, man. If you're in a relationship over here, certainly these age gap relationships, what gets so tiring about them is they start looking at you like an old man. You know, remember, she doesn't want you, she needs you. But they start looking at you as an old man. They start thinking, you don't know anything. You know, just be quiet, you know, suck my pussy or whatever it is. You know, just be happy with this pussy, and you should be happy that you got somebody. And pay the bills, you know. I don't want to hear nothing out of you. And it's a sad thing, man, but that's what it is. And if you're not dealing with that over here or around the world, then you should be grateful. You should be happy. Because I think that's the reason why a lot of men end up going into the military. They want purpose. Hello. Bang Bunchak. You know, they want more out of life than a paycheck or to be a paycheck. I'm the only one going to talk about this stuff because everybody else is living a perfect life over here. You know, if I had come over here simply for a woman, I'd have been gone a long time ago. It has nothing to do, this isn't a knock against the women. This is what I'm telling you, that I found more to love over here in the Philippines and a reason to be over here in the Philippines besides a woman. I tried that outside stuff before. It don't work. You know, sex is no different. Being addicted to sex, being addicted to anything, trying to fix what's wrong with you, it's no different than drugs and alcohol. You got to go within. And one way is to talk about it. So, you know, my channel, man, serves a purpose for me, because without my channel, I'd be nothing but a walking ATM, man. So thank you guys, man, who reach out to me. You know, who want this wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding, man, this experience that I got. It can help people. And you never asked me for anything. So if you're in America, if you're in the Philippines, wherever you are, find in your heart to help somebody. Now, a day goes by that I don't help somebody. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. I'll see you next time. Don't do anything stupid. This is Margarita Extension. I always say this when I walk through here because I want people to know, and I get a lot of new viewers here lately. But the difference between Margarita Village, where I used to live, and Margarita Village Extension is Margarita Village Extension is privately owned. So you don't see the paved roads, you don't see the paved sidewalks, the street lights and all of that. Were the city of St. Carlos City ever to purchase this, you would see it. And the property values would go way up. I'm pretty sure the property in Margarita Village is valued more than Margarita Village Extension, but I don't really know, to be honest with you. Real estate is different over here. Hey! But I do know that the value of your real estate never goes down, it always goes up. Crazy, right? We just celebrated 4 years in our house, man, and I guarantee you it's certainly doubled, but I'm guarantee it's more than that. So if you ever think about, building a house, maybe that's something that you should think long and strong about. Everybody's situation is different. But one thing is for sure, you're going to spend the money one way or not. So if you're tired of being an ATM machine, put it in the comments, man. Don't be afraid, man. How you going to solve a problem if you can't admit that you got the problem to begin with? I talk about whatever's on my mind, ladies and gentlemen. Take care.
Boots on the ground, don't do nothing stupid. Give that man his flowers, a tribute through music. If I don't know nothing, I know one thing.